I am Pops, and wow, I tell you what, this show it is going to do its best to try to get people to say positive things because it actually has some action. It actually has some things that go on. It has a big fight scene. It actually has a death. I know. Episode 7, one episode from the end of the series, and this is what we finally get. And it's like, why did we spend 6 episodes never doing anything to care about any of the characters in your show? Like, I don't understand. So this is typical nonsense. We have like, flashbacks. By the way, notice that Jack and Lizzo didn't make the flashback here. um we waited this whole time to get something of significance, and yeah, we've had to sit through 6 episodes of mostly crap. Like, we could take those 6 episodes and maybe cut it down to maybe 3, and I would probably put most of the fun stuff in this episode all the way to the front. Back at episode 1 or 2, we would cut all this around. We'd move some of this stuff around. I got a feeling we could take the 8 episodes of Mandalorian season 3 and make a 2-hour movie cut, and that would probably be about right. Uh, but this episode is still riddled with a ton of problems. Um, because we get nameless, we don't really care, scowling girl spy boss who uses a hologram to introduce Moff Gideon after all these episodes. And oh, by the way, probe droid. Hey, remember probe droids? Aren't you excited about probe droids? I priced a probe droid. I got a probe droid. Oh, I don't like that layout. Let's go back. Yeah, back to that one. Okay. Um, I just, I mean, I love probe droids. I got to be honest. It was one of the coolest toys when I was a kid. Was the probe droid, and I'm watching this like, okay. His dialogue in this episode is so cardboard. Oh my gosh, it was hard to get through. Blah 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 blah, whatever. Okay. Then you have these, what is presumably the Imperial Council meeting, where you have just a whole bunch of random people, a couple of minorities wearing different types of Imperial clothes. They're all cosplaying badly as Imperial officers. You have like a General Hux cameo, like before he was Hux. Oh, by the way, this is how he walks around with his sort of like Moff Vader costume. This like, yeah, we get to that at the end. It gets worse. So there's the one hologram. There he is. So, by the way, all roads lead to the sequel trilogy. Don't forget. Yeah. Okay, so this is all a bunch of like back and forth. It takes way too long. This scene goes on for 5 minutes, roughly 5 minutes. So 450. They're still talking. So about 5 minutes of Darth Gideon needs some reinforcements. Needs some TIE fighters and some bombers because the Mandalorians are going to take their planet. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Okay. Here's a planet. Oh yeah, we're gonna go back there again. Remember Navarro? Yeah, remember Carl Weathers? This is one of the worst dialogue. The show like wants to pretend that you're, you know, Alex Guinness's butler from Murder by Death. Like, you just can't see the giant ships that are flying overhead. Carl Weathers has to narrate to you about, oh no, those are these kind of ships, and they must have gotten them from the Empire because that's where they must have come from. Oh my gosh, show. So it's terrible because it has the elements, but then it has to do that. Let's see if we can hear a little bit.
With apologies, sir. According to my data.
My apologies, but oh, who cares? Who cares? So they're all here and they're going to discuss. And I'm really over the whole Baby Yoda thing, like sitting on her lap and stuff and all this. And like, that scene, and poor Mando's like in like the co-pilot seat. He's like in like the I don't care seat. Like, it isn't even relevant. And so then we get to this point. Let's see here. We got to get to the timestamps here. Okay. Ships are going to show up. Let's just say 11:30. And wait, before we get to that, because so it takes 2 minutes. We waste 2 more minutes of nothing of them getting there before we get. No, it's not IG-11. It's been erased and modified for IG. Now it is IG-12. Don't you see what they did there? Don't you see? Aren't you excited? Don't you see? It's been retrofitted. And wait for it. This thing comes out. Yeah. The little creature thing with the little gags. Remember the gags? Wasn't it hardy har fun? Yeah. Here we go.
Bad baby. No, it's crazy.
Bad baby. Bad baby. Bad, 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 bad. I wish IG-12 just shot Baby Yoda and this little fuzzy thing. It just turned itself back on. Would have been so much better. All right, so it's actually been retrofitted so they can put Baby Yoda in it, and he controls it. He has like a little robot suit now. See? So now we no longer have to have the little ball dome, because this is why we had to have IG-11 introduced all along, because we never needed IG-11. If you guys remember, we ended up using R5D4, and R5 didn't even need to do half of what it did in episode, I believe it was 2, because it had the little dome thing that popped off, and they can do that evidently and be a little drone camera for the spelunking nonsense on Mandalore. Okay. This is the plan. So the big plan is we're going to take the entire fleet to Mandalore. Let's take all of our resources there. I don't know why. Bo-Katan's supposedly really good at this. I don't know why we would do this. I don't know why we would not take a scout ship, kind of lay low, make sure you knew, because basically her experiences of being there is one trip with Mando into one cave, spelunking and seeing the mythosaur, and she's convinced that we got this under control. Or you would scout it out. I don't know. Just saying. They don't do that. It's a lot of the same kind of scenes. We walk, we talk, we go up ramps, we go down ramps, we stand around. And it's a lot of that just happens. And then we end up with this scene where they're all walking around Baby Yoda in his little IG-12 stroller. He's got his little stroller going on here. I think I missed a sequence where like the helmeted Mandos and the non-helmeted, the ones that are circumcised and not circumcised Mandos, they like have a little back and forth, little tiff, like, you know, they had their thing going on. The Gentiles. Yeah. So this is what happens before the mythosaur thing kind of bursts out. Oh, wait, before we get to the mythosaur, that's right. We have the pirate ships. We have more pirates. That's right. We have to have pirates first, and then the Gentile fight. So this ship just shows up. It's these pirates, these 3 dudes. They're scallywags, and they got a boat. And then we have our throwdown. That's right. We have our battle over helmets or non-helmets or whatever. So that's going to happen. This is all just talking. Just all talking. 30 minutes. 35 minutes. We're going to keep going, right? Yeah, we just keep going. Do you love all this? Do you like all this? It doesn't make me care about anybody. They're all just characters. And then the mythosaur has this big sequence where it attacks them. And I have to be honest, I kind of even lost a little bit of interest. Like, did they actually kill it? Hold on, let me see. It's just chaos breaks out. So it was kind of okay. Like, it was fine. It wasn't the worst thing in the world. Then they're spelunking again. And when they're spelunking, they're kind of going along for a minute, and then they're attacked. And I'm like, how could they be attacked by these Imperials? And these Imperials have on like Beskar type armor. It's like, well, how could that happen? Oh, okay. By the way, there's a whole base under here. Like the Imperials have moved in, and this was all a trap. Like, here's this whole big base under here. Yeah, this whole big base is in here. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I guess the three guys didn't notice this was all happening. Didn't notice there were ships and stuff. Okay. So this is Darth Gideon showing up with his little Star Wars speech about uh, Imperials and Jedis. I mean, you take a best of everything and mix it all together in my Imperial goo, and I'm the bestest ever. And give me your sword. I've got you trapped. Okay. So we're going to shoot and blast and do some stuff and fight, whatever, but we're not really ever smart or clever. He has a monologue, by the way. He goes full on syndrome for a minute because they catch Mando and they're going to send him to the comfy chair from Andor. Remember the comfy chair where they have the Office Depot chair? Because just take him to the interrogation room, which I'm assuming, yeah, after watching Andor, and those are probably confiscated. I mean, if not, for like $69.99, they can run down to Staples and grab one. I mean, they got that going on for them, right? I saw Andor. All right, so then these are here's a TIE interceptor hanging from the ceiling, and there's bombers. There's Bo-Katan. They want a sword, and then there's like fighting and blah blah blah. And then she realizes that she can cut a hole with the sword. It's like, oh, that probably could have been useful 2 seconds ago when you used that sword. You could have possibly, I don't know, been a better soldier in the middle of this battle. You guys aren't really that good at. And yeah, there's all sorts of TIE fighters and bombers and all this kind of stuff in there. So I guess those three pirates never paid attention to any of that. Here's the hole she makes so they can all escape like one at a time. And random blast shots. And then they leave. So this is I don't know, he's got names. I could care less. So he's the not circumcised Mandalore helmet guy. That's the dad of the kid that got picked up by the turkey dragon, was puked up by the turkey dragon a couple episodes ago. He's that dude. I guess we're supposed to care. He gets attacked by Praetorians because, references to Last Jedi are always good for business. And it takes three of them to take down this guy. So the Praetorians are not particularly major upgrades. He doesn't do anything. He kind of, I think, stabs into one, but I mean, they're basically like stabby, 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 stabby. It's kind of like Scream 6. I don't know if you guys saw the new Scream movie, because in Scream, you can get stabbed like 20 times and actually live, especially if you're a POC. So I don't know if he's a POC. He kept his helmet on. I don't know who's under there. So, but there are consequences, there's stakes, as you can see, and then there's credits with concept art that is superior to the show. It's like there's concept art like this that is more interesting and intriguing than anything that actually happens on screen. And that is how we're going to inch that much closer to the end of this show. Remember Mando season 1 gave us all like hope, like, yeah, they kind of missed the mark on the sequels, but they're going to be fine. Remember that? I kind of remember that. It seems like 2.5 years ago. Oh, wait, it was 2.5 years ago, wasn't it? All right. Okay. One more episode of this. On we go. Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys love it? Did you like that end? Look, there are moments that are not terrible, and it's all wrapped up in turds. It's all wrapped up in turds. You feel like there's bugs in your food or something? That's how I feel. It's like a sandwich. I'm like, oh, this is really good roast beef. It's not bad. This is really good roast beef. The cheese is good. It's a nice mix. They got like a little bit of lettuce and mayonnaise in there. I'm like, this is a good sandwich. I'm like, wait a minute. What is in this bread? Is that black mold in my... What is this? Baby Yoda IG-12 stroller thing? What is that? What is with Darth Gideon's outfit and the lack of intelligence of the Mandalorians? Disney Star Wars.